Hey there, everybody. This is Ed, and welcome back to another edition of Bagel and Booze. And, well, we're going to mix things up a little bit here on this week's review, and we're not actually going to be doing a beer review. What? Nope, we are not. We are going to be doing a seltzer review. Seltzer's still booze, still counts. I know it's not our normal, but with this, it was just something that I saw in the liquor store and just could not pass up the opportunity to do so. Being a Generation Xer, it just hit back to college days. I had to get it. We had to try it, and I have to go ahead and review it. So with that, I guess we'll go ahead and get the Beercam fired up. So, what seltzer are we reviewing that would fit for a Generation Xer? Well, it's none other than the almighty classic SunnyD. Yes, SunnyD has entered this seltzer market. They themselves have gotten in there, so this hopefully should hit in for any Gen Xers, older millennials that grew up in the 90s loving SunnyD, or as it was called then, SunnyD Light. This is something that just came out in March, actually last month in March. It is 4.5 ABV, it's 95 calories, gluten-free, made with vodka. Fortunately, not kosher if you were looking for that, whatever. But it does have a 365-day shelf life. I guess if you're going to keep your seltzers around that long, it's good to know you can keep them for a year. And with this, I'll bring out, it does say that they do sweeten it with stevia. I know some people don't like some of the sweeteners, but if you don't like that, then you'll probably want to pass on it. Being a college kid who grew up with some SunnyD, mixing it with vodka, doing it the old-fashioned way. Now we don't even have to do that. We got it right in the can, and we're going to see if this lives up to the billing of what we had in college years. See if it, I don't know. I'm hoping it does. We're going to find out. It's not a bagel and booze unless we got our the more you know moment. So, SunnyD, it's vodka, it's orange juice, or I guess orange juice. Really, all in all, it is basically a screwdriver seltzer, screwdriver in a can. So for today's the more you know moment, kind of looked in to see if there was any history of the screwdriver.
Hey, screwdriver, okay? It's not the writing of Magna fucking Carta. That's a book.
Who drinks a screwdriver anyway?
The origins of the screwdriver drink, it's a little muddled. What does seem to be kind of clear is that the screwdriver seems to be one of the first recorded cocktails to be made with vodka. With that, it's actually only been around about 3/4 of a century, invented. For the most part, the general consensus is that it was invented around the time of World War II, or either during World War II or shortly thereafter. To kind of put some stuff into perspective off of that as to why a little bit more of a newer drink, so to say, is vodka itself wasn't really officially, quote-unquote, introduced into the U.S. Until the 1930s. And this is when the rights to Smirnoff vodka were purchased by a Randolph, I'm going to butcher his last name, Kunett, I'm going to guess it's Kunett, for 50,000 francs, which in today's money is roughly about the same, $55,000. He bought rights to exclusively make and sell vodka in the U.S. and in Canada. And in 1934, the first vodka was distilled in Bethel, Connecticut. It would be about another 40 years before Russian-made vodka would actually be imported to the U.S. Smirnoff holds the distinction of being the first vodka here distilled in the U.S. So with that, that's kind of why I'm saying the screwdriver is kind of more of a newer drink, because Americans, vodka had been around in some fashion since the early 1900s. But again, as we said, it wasn't officially distilled here, sold, marketed, what have you, until the 30s. The one thing that can kind of be concluded of this, unlike most drinks, mixed drinks, what have you, that they're usually kind of invented by some bartender or bar owner or whatever. This drink itself, most origins point to it not actually being created by bartenders or restaurant owners or bar owners or whatever. So depending on what origin story you want to believe, whether it was that American oil workers in the Persian Gulf would pour vodka into their breakfast drinks, and well, because they were lacking spoons, they used to stir it with screwdrivers, which were readily available. Hopefully no oil on those. Or that it was American Marines who would douse their OJ with vodka during World War II. Or another one of that the airmen stationed in Ankara, Turkey, invented it in 1943. Or what is my personal favorite is that it was invented in the Park Hotel in New York City by Turkish agents, Balkan refugees, and American engineers who basically sipped on this drink. Regardless of whoever you kind of believe, what origin you believe, it definitely has an American connection to it. We are drinking a SunnyD. Kind of looked into a little bit of SunnyD. This was SunnyD, Sunny Delight, depending on when you were born, when you experienced it. But this drink was originally invented in around 1963, early 1960s, by two Florida dads, and like I said, it was originally known as Sunny Delight. There was one thing that really kind of stuck out, and that was, I guess, for that in 1998, SunnyD finally lands in the United Kingdom. And why is this important? Well, here, by the end of the year, Sunny Delight becomes the 12th best-selling grocery store item, and it took over every other soft drink besides Pepsi and Coke. SunnyD, as much as wanted to market it as a juice, it wasn't a juice. It was deemed more of a soft drink because there was only 5% juice in it, and the rest was basically 95% of watery corn syrup. But the one thing to it, to give it that orange flavor, is that it did have beta carotene, and it's that fact that leads to its downfall in 1999 in the United Kingdom, when in Wales a 4-year-old skin turns yellow. This is not urban myth; it has actually been confirmed true. According to the BBC, in December of 1999, this 4-year-old shows up in a doctor's office with yellow tinted skin. To the kid's credit, the mom's discredit, whoever the heck you want to look at it, she was consuming 1.5 liters a day. She would have suffered the same effects of drinking that much carrot juice, but regardless, she was consuming more than twice the daily amount of intake of beta carotene for an adult. It didn't help that the story breaks when Sunny Delight was running a advertisement campaign in which you had two snowmen turning yellow after raiding a fridge. That whole kind of story, the commercial, whatever, it basically kind of tanked Sunny Delight's sales. They basically plummet to nearly half of what they were. It forces a rebrand into 2003 to SunnyD, and then again they rebrand in 2009. It's obviously still around, as evidenced by the drink that we are going to drink, but it never regained its popularity that it had in the early 1990s. So there you go. There's your little bit of the more you know moment of the screwdriver drink, vodka coming to America, and, well, proving that an urban legend of SunnyD turning your skin yellow, orange, whatever, is really true if you drink enough of it. So with that, let's go ahead and get this poured, and we'll go ahead and give it the old taste test.
I drink and I know things.
Okay, so normally, obviously, I would have stuff poured out so we could take a look at it and we could see the color, we could see the head off of the beer and everything, but A seltzer's a seltzer's a seltzer. It's clear. There's not much head to it. So we're going to go ahead. I got display can and we got our drinking can. So we're going to go ahead and give this guy a crack. So we'll give the old sniff test. And ooh, right off the bat, it does smell of SunnyD. Brings back some memories. So it's big overpowering of the orangeness, whatever, of SunnyD. So we'll go ahead and give it the old taste test. Oh my God. It is, I'm not tasting much of an alcohol when there. I am tasting the SunnyD. I'm tasting the orange flavor. I would argue kind of a little bit, I'll get kind of a little bit more of a tang, orange tang taste. I guess it's all kind of chemical orange at that point, but there is not much of an alcohol taste off to this. Not much of the vodka, so obviously kind of making it on the easy side if you're mixing this up straight up. Not going heavy-handed on your Smirnoff or your Absolute or whatever your alcohol vodka choice was back there in the 90s. Maybe a little pop off. Yeah, there's not much bad off of this. I guess just the little bit of the kind of carbonation, kind of throws me for a little bit. It's not as smooth as obviously just kind of mixing up straight up orange juice and vodka, but it definitely does the bill. Get that good old SunnyD, Sunny Delight orange flavoring that is in there, and it really hits the spot. So I guess you could get yourself into trouble drinking these because it will kind of sneak up on you before you even know it. I guess as far as a rating, not a huge seltzer person, but as far as it goes, we'll give it another old taste swig off of that. But for this, I guess I'll give it off a 4. It's really good. I guess the one thing that kind of, I'm drinking a seltzer, so to me the one thing that sets me off is kind of the carbonation off of it. So I'm expecting more of the actual kind of screwdriver, the old juice and booze mix. But all in all, it's a 4. It's definitely a solid 4 off of that. So with that, I guess we got to find out, just like back in college, will it chug? It's that time to find out if this drink is chuggable. We're going to find out if, just like back in those college weekend parties, if this fits the bill, if it lives up to that, if it can handle it. Obviously, as a sipping seltzer, it does very well. It matches up, gives back some memories, but we'll find out how it holds up after chugging, if we get any different impressions, if that orangeness, that seltzer-ness, if that's a real word, kind of changes anything. So normally, we kind of continue to use the existing drink that we had already poured out, but because it is a seltzer in this tiny little can, we already kind of did some damage, so to chug, what's left of that can ain't much. So we're going to start off, if I can show it here. I'm getting everything all jacked up with my camera. There we go. We have a brand new SunnyD to crack open, and we're going to find out if this whole can is chuggable. So let's find out. There we go. And off we go. Whew. So it is chuggable. I failed at my chugging ability. We got a little bit left. Uh, the carbonation got me. Um, it is very carbonated. The orange definitely comes through off of that. It's pretty intense. Things ramped up. We went from, we'll say, 9 on the scale to quote out Spinal Tap, we turned it up to 11. But all in all, it is chuggable. I just failed on my chugging attempt. But with that, I guess we got to finish it out. So hang on. So I didn't finish. Didn't miss by much, but with that, I definitely recommend this. Brings back some days of old. It's very easy. It's very dangerous. It's very smooth. There's really no alcohol taste to this thing. It's kind of carbonated. SunnyD, as far as I'm kind of concerned off of that. So with that, this is done. I'm done. We're done. And I thank you again for tuning in for another episode of Bagel and Booze. And we'll catch you for the next review. Thanks all.